Welcome back, everybody. Today we're playing some... see, he said it for me. And we're talking about a hypothetical. Did this just turn off? No. In case you don't know what a hypothetical is, then you're an idiot. But to all those who don't, it's basically a what-if scenario, whatever. And I've been really fascinated with them recently. I don't know what it is. Yeah, sure. I don't know what it is. I just have been watching a lot of videos about different hypotheticals recently. Most notably, people in, like, I guess they're on podcasts, and then they just trimmed it down or whatever. They're just sitting there chilling and talking about, like, different hypotheticals, and I find it so interesting. I'm actually totally down for doing a podcast if y'all would be interested in that. Just, no. Just saying. So yeah, that'd be really fun. We should do that sometimes, guys. Yeah. So then I went to Google and I looked up different hypotheticals, and the first link I clicked on was super boring. Like, honestly, so some of the stuff was like, what kind of food would you want to be? What animal would you be if you could be one? And I'm just thinking, really? An animal? Like, that's the best you can come up with? It's like, this isn't 3rd grade, Billy. I want something good here. So then I kept scrolling, and then I came across one that I actually kind of liked, and it was along the lines of, if you could increase one stat in your body, but then be forced to decrease another, which two relatively would you pick? And my first, like, the first thing that came to my mind was my speed, and I'll get into why later. It's not really, oh, dang it, it's not really that interesting of a response. I just, I don't know. So yeah, I figured I'd choose my speed, but then I started thinking about the speed, right? And I was like, okay, so I'm increasing my speed. Then I started thinking, well, how would that work exactly? Because you can't just become faster, you know? Like, something like strength I could get, for simplicity's sake, let's just say it's a genie we're talking to. And you're like, okay, I want to become stronger, you know, I want to increase my strength. And the genie's like, alright, I'll increase your strength, and you get like 10% stronger. Or maybe you could choose your percentage, right? And if you become 10% stronger, then you become 10% weaker in whatever thing you chose to decrease. Which I think that makes the most sense. I don't really think it'd be reasonable to say, well, if you become stronger, then you become dumber, you know, or vice versa. I think it's, you choose of what things you want of each deal. If that, I think it makes sense. Dang it, I just hit that wall. So then, like I said, I started thinking, well, I would want to increase my speed. But then I thought, well, you can't just, oh my god dang it. You can't just increase your speed. Like, one does not just become faster. Something like, man, why am I doing so bad? Something like strength I could get, you know, you just become stronger, you're able to lift more weight. You know, overall, your body is just able to, I keep thinking of, like, lift more, but it also be other things, like, I can't really think of anything at the moment, but with speed, it's like you don't just become faster. So I was like, okay, what makes a person faster or not? You know, it's like, yeah, over time, if you keep running, you naturally, I don't know if you necessarily become faster or you just become more endurance, like your endurance of running is better. You know, like you're just able to run faster for longer, because some people can run, let's say, 5 miles an hour for 10 minutes. Yeah, just an extreme example. But then others are only able to run that fast for only 5 minutes, you know? It's not that the other person is faster, it's just that the other person can endure more. Oh my god, that hit me at the perfect time. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily that they're a faster person, just that they can endure more. And then for stuff like short distance, it's also like, well, that person can just run faster for a longer amount of time, you know? They can go all out for longer than you can. So I guess that's how, so speed isn't really something you can just increase. So I was like, okay, what makes a person faster? And it's like, well, normally the taller you are, the more naturally faster you are. And because maybe your legs are longer, so you're able to take more steps, or you're able to take fewer steps. So it's like the fewer amount of steps, less time, because each time you like step, it's like a little mini break going on, you know? So maybe it's something like that. So it's like, okay, maybe you need to take bigger steps. So maybe it's one of those things where to increase your speed, you can say something like, okay, I want to increase my flexibility. So then you can take longer steps. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. I think that's how it would work, because you can't just increase your speed. And if you do increase your speed, is the genie then like, okay, I'm increasing your speed, but by doing that, I'm just basically increasing your flexibility? Or would the genie say, hey, I can't increase your speed, I have to do something more specific, you know? Something like that, I guess. But then the topic also comes up of like, how do percentages work? So like how I thought about it at first was, well, if I go, let's say for totally extreme example, I know this isn't factual at all, let's say I squat 400 pounds, you know, just for simplicity's sake, trust me, and then I say I want to become 50% stronger. Okay, so back to what I was saying, I had to go do something real quick. So it's in like, I totally forgot what I was even, I know what I was talking about, but I like totally lost my train of thought because I had to go do that thing. So it's like, okay, so percentages, like let's say I increase it, I'm squatting 400 pounds and I say I want to increase by 50%, and my maximum is 400 pounds, so then 50% of that is 200 pounds. So then whatever my squat, I can now squat 600 pounds, you know, but I'm also 50% weaker in, let's say, intelligence. But how does that mean that one percentage of strength is determined by 1 pound of weight? It's, you know, how does that balance out? How do you even, is it even possible to completely measure someone's strength completely? Like, I know you can say how much their leg strength is by how much they squat, bench, arm strength respectively, but it's like just a person's overall strength. Is it something you can calculate, like a BMI? You know, like how you can take your height and your weight and calculate a BMI? No, it's just a question we need answering to, people. I'm sure there's some way you can do that. You know, some way out there. But it's like, and then intelligence. If you increase your intelligence, like, what exactly are you increasing there? You know, it's like, what are you gonna know, more facts? Or are you gonna, because when people think, oh, I'm smarter, it's like I'm better at tests, which, you know, that never really made too much sense to me. It's like, how would, if you just said make me smarter, well, in what way would you be smarter? Because like technically knowing a bunch of useless facts makes you more knowledgeable than the other person, but does that make you smarter? You know, it's one of those awkward situations. I know I'm just kind of being like, I'm saying but a lot, and normally I don't like the person who says, oh come on, who says, you know, is the nitpicky kind of guy in the hypothetical situation. It's like, dude, you're just trying to whatever, but I'm trying to start a conversation with people in the comments. Let's start a conversation. This is why stuff like this is easier to bring when you have someone to talk to. You guys think I should do a podcast? I think I should start a podcast. I feel kind of cheap with myself if I did. But anyways, let's say I did. So the reason, what was I about to say? I don't know what I was about to say. So yeah, I first was originally gonna do my speed, but then I was like, okay, well that doesn't make sense. But then, like, if you decrease 50% of your intelligence, what is that getting rid of? Like, normally when you see someone in, like, a show or something get dumber, it's like, duh, I don't know what a chicken is. It's like, so do you just lose the remembrance of stuff? Like, do I end up just forgetting things, like what a car is and so on and so forth? I feel like there are other stats that people wouldn't think of. Like, what I think I'd get rid of is my pee tolerance. You know, because that's, I mean, to think about it, right? A person can already hold in a pee for a pretty hefty amount of time, you know? So then to get like a 50% strength increase, you know? And then have a pee tolerance cut down by 50. Let's say you can hold in pee for 2 days. Well, now you just have to go like once a day, you know? A person's pee tolerance is actually pretty high. So I think of all the stuff to get rid of, I'd get rid of pee tolerance. But then because of that, because pee tolerance is something that you could easily get rid of, not get rid of, but decrease, you know what I mean? Would it then be not equivalent to 50% strength increase, you know? It's like, would the hypothetical genie have to make everything exactly even? So maybe 50% strength increase is equivalent to like a 90% pee tolerance decrease. Something crazy like that, you know? I don't know, I think that's what I would get rid of. Comment down below what y'all would get rid of and keep, you know, and like what percentages, if that's interesting. I don't know, I thought this was kind of an interesting topic. I thought I could get more out of it. But hypotheticals just interest me so much, and I suck at Mario Kart. So it's just funny how stuff like that could and couldn't work out. It's like I said, the pee tolerance thing, I'm perfectly fine with losing 50% pee tolerance, but then also keeping, you know. And then, okay, getting technical here, would you have to be specific with what you want strengthened? You know, like, would I have to specifically say, I want upper body strengthened, or would you only be able to say, my left arm, I want stronger? Which, at that point, it'd just be kind of, I wouldn't say useless exactly, just like, of all the body parts to strengthen, like what, and then like, would you then have to choose exactly what you wanted, what part of something you wanted to be smarter? Like, I want to be smarter when it comes to history, and then when it comes to actually being smarter, would that just make you easier to remember stuff? Like, make it easier for you to remember things, you know? Like, I don't know, in math, I have a hard time remembering formulas, right? So would I then, when I say I want to be smarter in math, would it really just make me easier, more acceptable to remember stuff? You know, like I can easily remember that stuff. You got first place, baby. I think that's how, I don't know. But then, by that point, wouldn't you just be saying, I want a better memory? And it's like, how would you do something like a better memory? Like, I want a 50% better memory? Well, how does that work? Is it like a gigabyte sort of thing, where the brain can hold so much information at once, but then you increase that level of information, you know? Or something crazy like that? I don't know. These are the questions I want answering to, people. Other stuff to increase. What's some other stuff we could increase? Let's do this one. You know, I think this has a lot of basics of it. You know, there are other things. And then, like, I don't want to go too unuser-friendly here, but could you increase the size of body parts? You know, I think y'all know the first thing I'm talking about, but then also, like, an arm. Could you make the bicep bigger without it actually being stronger? Because you can have, there are some people who are strong out there, but they don't have like huge biceps, you know, or maybe they don't have a six-pack. So could you then say, I want to increase, or what if you say I want to, what if you say I want to be stronger and I want to decrease the amount of body fat on my body, you know? So then it's just a win-win situation, so there's no loss there. That goes back to the thing of, would it have to even out? Like, would you have to actually be losing something? Like, the genie the hypothetical genie, of course, he's gonna, I knew that was gonna happen. Stupid little baby. The hypothetical genie, of course, is like, okay, well, it's cool that you want to do that, but you also have to lose something. Like, because there's always a catch in these hypothetical situations, right? And the genie is telling you, look, dude, there's gotta be a catch, so I can't make you lose body fat. Because there are people who are, like, big dudes who are super strong, you know? So you see some of the world's strongest guys, they don't have huge muscles or six-packs, they're just big guys. So it's like, well, if I ask to be... And then, like, what's the max? Could you say, I want to be 100% more strong, but then lose 100% of body fat? You know? Or maybe I want to be 75% stronger and lose 75% body fat. It's like, I just outsmarted the system. Now I'm super strong and I'm ripped. You know? Something like that. I think that's an interesting topic. But then back to the subject of, well, the genie is telling you, hey, that's cheating the system. You can't cheat the system. You know, you have to be losing something in this scenario. The decrease of something has to be something valuable to you. You know? So it's like, if I make myself stronger, I can't lose. I can't then benefit from something else. I can't benefit from something else. Or then it's like, going on topic here, it's like, I want to increase my skill level at video games, okay? But there's a lot of different kinds of video games that, you know, there's a lot of different kinds of video games that work with different things. Like, Mario Kart is so much different than Fortnite, you know? But I think or then like Rock Band is something that just came to mind. It's like, if I say I want to be better at video games and then I play Rock Band, my hand-eye coordination is like so much better, right? But then if I'm not playing Rock Band, is my hand-eye coordination still good? I assume it would, because you keep those... I'm thinking this like a video game, so when I say like stat increases, is then, do I keep that, or is it only there when I'm playing the video game? Of course, all this is like hypothetical genie talk, but it's still like an interesting topic of, well, I asked to be better. I knew that was going to happen sometime. I asked to be better at video games, and technically while playing the video game I'm better, but then does that stat increase go away? Or let's say I want to be better at video games, but I want to be but I want to be weaker, you know, I don't want to be as strong. Okay, but then when I'm not playing a video game, do I get my normal strength back, you know? And they also say stuff like the human body can do limits past what it think it can. So let's say, theoretically, I have squatted at most 300 pounds before. That guy just pushed me. But my body's actually capable of squatting 400. So then if I ask for a 50% increase, would I then be able to physically be able to squat? Just simplicity's sake, 500 pounds. But only still be able to squat like 350? You know, it's like, well, I asked for a bigger stat boost, and it's like, well, you technically can do more. You just don't know it. You know, your body is still limited because your mind. In case y'all don't know that. It's crazy. I think that's how it would work. I think there's always catches to stuff like this. I don't know the question mark is far back. There's always like catches to stuff like this. So it's like I said, you could have this scenario where it's like, or maybe it's like, I'd like to increase my, I don't know, I'd like to decrease my level of untiredness at night, or like specific time. Oh, can I make this? Oh my god, I'm a god. Or like specific times. Like, let's say your sleep schedule sucks. Your sleep schedule sucks, like mine does. Well then, because you'd be like, I wish that my ability to sleep was increased between the time of 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. or whatever, you know? So then it's like, you're more likely to fall asleep in those times. Or would you not be able to time it, and you'd only be able to go like, oh, I want to be tired more, which would suck. Why would you want to be tired more? I'm gonna go with this top route. Big mistake. Can't save it that time. You know? I don't know, these are some interesting hypotheticals. Like I said, these are way... Jesus, I went from first to last like, in a second. These are some interesting hypotheticals. I'm mainly making this video because I thought 13 Reasons Why Season 4 is coming out on Monday. Because I'm an idiot. But it's actually coming out on Friday, so I'm getting the episode out either Friday or Saturday, so stay tuned for that. We're either getting a double upload on Friday or a single upload on Saturday. That's the end of the video. Y'all can stop watching. So, I guess I need to give a definitive answer, though. So, I would increase... I think the easiest thing to say is what I would increase, but then the hardest thing to say is what I decrease, because it's like, I don't want to decrease my intelligence. It didn't even warn me. My intelligence, because I kind of need my intelligence. I mean, I don't have a lot of it, but the little bit I have. And then, like, I really need to sit down here and think about it, you know? It's like, it's like I said, the whole flexibility thing, or like, being better at video games gives you better hand-eye coordination, or, you know, it can have a double effect. You know, so I really gotta think about this. But I think, obviously, I just increase my strength. I don't know what percentage, I just say I want to increase my strength. And the thing I would decrease would probably be pee tolerance, because it's already pretty high, so losing that wouldn't be that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Like I said, comment down below what you guys... I actually read my comments, unlike big YouTubers. I actually read every single one of my comments. Yes, even the bot ones. Yeah, I already told y'all why this video is coming out. I just needed a filler video for Wednesday, or Thursday, depending on when I upload this. That's what I thought it was. Are you kidding me, dude? You guys would like to see more, and I lost the... God dang it. You guys would like to see more Mario Kart content, be sure to like and subscribe. But, for now, I plan on doing more hypotheticals. I plan on doing them with other people, maybe in podcast form, if you're interested in that. Comment if you're interested in that. Yeah, hypotheticals are fun to talk about, discuss. Discussion is always fun. So, yeah. That's the end of the video. Go home. I'm just playing Mario Kart. Maybe I'll win. Who knows? Video over. Oh, no. Video not over. What other hypotheticals should I talk about? Comment down below some hypotheticals. Please don't choose stupid ones like the website. If you could have a chicken, what would his favorite chicken be? Or something dumb like that. Something good, please. That's it. Mario Kart's getting annoying. 150cc sucks. Video over.